Hey, we're about to start the show, and you know the drill. If you've been here before and you have something important to share, please add a capital letter Q to your comment. And if you are watching live for the first time, please let us know by writing the word new, and we'll give you a nice little welcome. Enjoy the broadcast. Here we are, another day to get together at Coffee and Headlines. It's a pleasure to see you. Today is Friday, 29th. We're in the middle of Semana Santa, and it is Friday. I love it. As we are getting together here, there's all these Via Cruces that are going on around the city. Albert reported that there was a Via Crucis or a reenactment of the crucifixion in Colonia Emiliano Zapata, and the one in Pitillal must be going on right as we are gathering. And we're missing it because we're here, but that's okay. Welcome, everybody. This is Coffee and Headlines. And as usual, I've gathered all kinds of information that I wish to share with you. We are also going to unpack something that I meant to unpack yesterday, but I didn't prepare. This has to do with the gringos in Mazatlan versus the beach musicians. Things have gotten interesting in Mazatlan, and we will unpack this because I think there's a lot of teachable insight in the situation. We'll get to that in a second, but first, let us make sure that everybody that has to be here is here. It's great to see you all. Chris says Miss Maloya Beach is getting busy already. I'm not surprised. I saw photos of the beach here in Los Muertos, and it's crowded. But let's go through the news just to see what's going on. And we start with something that I predicted yesterday. Yesterday, we announced the new highway, and so much of the headlines today have to do with how expensive it is, as I suspected. Many headlines today indicate that if you're driving by yourself from Puerto Vallarta to Guadalajara or vice versa, it is less expensive to fly or take the bus given the tolls. And we already knew that. But one headline did catch my attention, and it is this one, which has to do with the final stretch of the highway, the one that goes from Bucerías to our city, to Puerto Vallarta, more specifically to the airport, as they have announced for months, if not years. And according to this news note, the final 32.2 kilometers of highway from Bucerías to the airport will be concluded in August. So it is in August when the entirety of the so-called new Puerto Vallarta to Guadalajara highway will be concluded. And then, of course, Puerto Vallarta went back to first place when it comes to hotel occupancy, with an average hotel occupancy of 83.9%, and this is above Cancun and Los Cabos. But that was last week. even before we started with Semana Santa. How are things looking out there? Well, thanks to Albert on the street. Albert shared this photograph with me yesterday that just made me laugh out loud. Um, well, it is packed, and we know it to be packed. And I think, if you choose to be surrounded by so many people, so be it. I think we should go out and have a look at it at least once in our lives to see, oh, yeah, it's crowded and packed with tourists. But then it becomes a choice whether you want to stay there or go back in the following year. Albert, I'm glad that you've had a chance to see what it looks like. And power to you if you choose to hang out and be surrounded by that many people. Tribuna de la Bahía and other news outlets are reporting that the beaches are packed with tourists enjoying our city. But talk about bad timing. Why? Because apparently some beaches have raised their red flag due to the high winds and high waves. So if you see a red flag, you're not allowed to swim in the ocean. So if you or any of your loved ones are planning to spend time at the beach, please be mindful of the weather conditions. Look at the flags because lifeguards have been very busy already. And now I want to unpack the Mazatlan situation. I've been following this for the last 4 or 5 days because, again, it is interesting. I'm not going to take sides on this one. Actually, I am, but I'm going to save that till the very end. And it all started with this gentleman. Meet Ernesto Copel Kelly. Ernesto Copel Kelly is from Mazatlan, and he is a hotel personality. He's written a number of books about the history of Mazatlan and hotel development. He's a very well-respected hotelier in Mazatlan. Well, a few days ago, this gentleman published a video on social media complaining about the loudness of the music. He was not specifically talking about the beach. In fact, in the video, he's mostly concerned over the fact that drivers of public transportation vehicles in Mazatlan crank up the music on their vehicles as though everybody wants to listen to the music that they're playing, and that is, he called it unsafe. He also mentioned that there were too many musicians upsetting visitors on the beach, and he made the politically incorrect statement of saying that at his hotel, gringos, that's what he said, gringos were not happy. Foreign tourists were not happy with the sound of banda music everywhere. Parenthetically, we're talking about Mazatlan, which is in the state of Sinaloa, and Sinaloa is the state where banda has thrived the most. And it would be the equivalent of a tourist here in Puerto Vallarta complaining to the hotel, there's too much mariachi. But I digress. Let us go back to the Mazatlan fiasco. So the hotelier publishes this video, and I hope you find this interesting. I find it fascinating. And of course, the other news outlets out there, and nationwide, this went nationwide, started posting videos of unhappy gringos at the beach because the music is too loud. And then, of course, the musicians, started realizing that there was potentially an uprising against them. After all, musicians need to pay rent just about as much as anybody else. So musicians took to the streets, blocking them and protesting because they should be allowed to play music. They should be allowed to make a living. And of course, the governor of Sinaloa, Rubén Rocha, quickly pronounced against forbidding musicians from playing on the beach. And musicians threatened to, get together and go to the beach and try to get a Guinness World Record of the most banda players playing banda music at the same time. We don't know if this is going to happen or not. Of course, there are permits in Mazatlan, just like there are permits in any large city on how many people can go out and make a living as vendors of music or trinkets or whatever. And according to this, a news item that I read, there are only 40 groups in Mazatlan that have an official permit to play music on the beach. And of course, it happens in Mazatlan, just like it happens here. A number of people selling chingaderas or making music or this, that, and the other are arriving into town, trying to make an honest living and make some money while they're at it. And quite interestingly, and this is, again, I'm not taking sides or being confrontational about it, but this meme published here in Puerto Vallarta gave me some thought. And it says, and I translate, if Mazatlan was a place willing to eliminate its traditions just to keep retired gringos happy, Mazatlan would be called Puerto Vallarta. So don't shoot the messenger. I'm just sharing the information as I'm seeing it. Clearly, this situation of having foreigners coming here to try to impose their expectations is a loaded issue. Clearly, musicians trying to make an honest living is an important issue, but how many musicians can you actually put on the beach playing at the same time? I don't know. But if you ask me, my bottom line is, why be, and we've talked about this before, why be in a place where you don't want to be? You know, if I don't want to hear music on the beach, well, I try to go to a beach that has no music, and they exist. If I decide to visit a city and I find the city too loud, well, I just don't go back to that city. But expecting places to change the way they've been for years, all the traditions, all of the things that have been going on, I mean, I don't know. I think it's asking a little bit too much. And I will be the first person to say, no, I don't enjoy the musicians when I am at the beach, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to go and make a big ruckus. I mean, I'm simply going to move to a place where I'm comfortable. And that's just the end of that. I thought I would share this with you because I think it provides us an opportunity to reflect on just how, and I know I'm preaching a little bit, I will be done in a second. It provides us an opportunity to think about how willing are we to be happy with our surroundings. And this applies to locals, it applies to foreigners, it applies to everyone, you know. And a dear friend told me yesterday that she moved to another neighborhood and she was getting used to it, and it's been a culture shock for this person. And, you know, it's just a matter of reading your surroundings and finding the good of wherever you are. And that's just my 2 cents. I am done with this, but I will continue following it because I think it is fascinating. I will read your comments at the end. And let's take a look at the weather just to see what's going on out there. Personally, I found the whole banda in Mazatlan situation rather interesting. Thank you, oh merciful Ra, for blessing us with your radiance. Oh, that is sweet. That's snarky weather being friendly. I love it. And let's look at our weather forecast. Well, first of all, right now we're enjoying 23 degrees. Humidity is high at 61%. And our weather forecast for today says we're going to enjoy clear skies throughout the day with a high of 26 and a low of 15. And then tomorrow, clear skies throughout the day with a high of 26 and a low of 17. And finally, Sunday will be a humid day with partly cloudy skies throughout the day, a high of 27 and a low of 17. So I was really wrapped up with the whole Mazatlan thing, trying to explain it to you as best as I could, and managed to collect a couple of other items and put them together for you. It's starting with Oculto. Oculto has unveiled yet another open dinner um, to their list of offerings, and this is going to happen on Friday, April 5th at 7 p.m. If you have not had the Oculto experience, it is definitely something you may want to check out. And the last thing that I saw in the news has me a little startled because, according to this news note, my boyfriend, my adoration, my Dr. Simi, is retiring. What do you mean you're retiring? I don't believe it. Dr. Simi published in social media that he is retiring, and no further explanations were given. I am distraught about this. I am lucky that I have my Dr. Simi, but if Dr. Simi is going to be no more available to us human beings, who am I going to hug when I'm out on the street? I just don't know, but this has me troubled. What do you think? Yes, Dr. Simi says, let's go to the chit chat. You know, I don't want you to think that I'm all that crazy. Well, I am. Every time I see Dr. Simi, I want to hug him. I know that's weird, but that's just me. Okay, so your comments. Let's see what you're up to this morning. Good morning, Mark. And good morning, David. And good morning, Pat. And good morning, everyone. Minnesota's in the house. Betsy is in Emiliano Zapata. Mijal is right around the corner. I love it. I love it. Vancouver's in the house. Wonderful. El Cerro is in the house. Hello, Fred. You guys are all over. I love it. We reported on the Mismaloya Beach already, and there is a queue here. Does no one ever have issues? Is it always great out there? Our Tinaco overflowed, and our door locks have issues all before 8 a.m. LOL. But it's a great Friday anyway. That's the spirit, Lucina. You know, things happen. I wish things didn't happen, but you know, what are you gonna do? I love it. Ba-dum bum 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 bum. Bum ba-da-dum bum 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 bum. Love this picture with Albert. Well, I think I'm gonna turn him into my own meme. In fact, I'm gonna demonstrate live because I think I can do that. Watch what happens. Ah! See, I'm going to put him like right in front of me, and every time something shocking happens, I am going to become scared Albert. Oh my God! Okay, enough of that. Oh dear. Angelica reports that Punta Perula is also packed. I love it. Let's see. Brian says, agree, everyone needs to go to the pier once during Semana Santa. It's a rite of passage. Of course it is. You know, I remember when my cousin living in Leon used to come and visit me for Semana Santa. And I used to live in Loma del Mar, like 2 blocks away from the Los Muertos pier. And she would say, let's go to the beach. I'm like, I will go once, but after that, you're on your own. And I never went back to the beach in Semana Santa because it's crazy for me as a local. It's great for the tourists. You know, we have the beach for 50 weeks a year. Let them have it for 2 weeks a year. Hey, Josh, what are you doing texting while you should be selling? This is Josh reminding us that Hecho a Mano is right around the corner from my place at Café con Cielo, not far from Whiskey Kitchen. They are going to have, they're selling handmade products until I believe it's 3 p.m. I'm going to go in a little while just to find a couple of things. And everybody else, if you want to come experience my neighborhood, Café con Cielo is right around the corner from Whiskey Kitchen. Let's see what else. Yes, Josh mentioned Sinaloa is the birthplace of banda. So it's kind of like taking mariachi away from Jalisco or tequila. Jesus. Uh, oh, Josh, Cosita. Josh asks, who goes someplace because they don't like where they are, then try to make it like where they were? I think it's called conchas chinas. Oops. Outside voice. Oh, to each their own. It's a good thing that our bay is large enough for everyone. Let's see what else we have. Lucina, again, the statement is not so far off base. I don't know which statement specifically, but enjoy the culture and the people. We are guests here. I think we're all guests in the planet, and we all have the choice to be miserable of where we are or have the ability to empower ourselves and find a way to be in a place or surrounded by things that we like. Let's see what else. I'm going to go to New York City and make it stop smelling like piss. I want to go anywhere in the United States and publish a video that was something along the lines of, I can't believe I'm here in the United States and the only thing people know how to sing is Sweet Caroline. Ba, ba, ba. I mean, hello. Love it. Carla, Mushi, how are things going? It's great to see you. Carla. I have a new broadcast on Wednesday afternoons for people that want to promote their things. Please be my guest at the new broadcast. It's called The Spotlight, so that more people can find out about Mushi. Yes. Sweet Caroline's going to be an earworm now. I love it. Michal says, when we lived in New York City for a few years, we embraced the good, bad, and ugly. It is what it is, and we chose to be there. If gringos don't like the music, they can go elsewhere and or not tip the musicians. People do have choices. Well, again, I do not want to make this about gringos. Personally, I think we all have the choice to be where we want to be or not. And if there are foreign visitors or travelers or tourists coming to a different country and you expect it to be like the way it was home, I think that is just flawed for anyone traveling anywhere. That's just my 2 cents. Your reactions to Dr. Simi. I love it. See, I'm not alone with my fascination. I love my Dr. Simi. He's always here next to me. Sherry says that we captured the essence of Albert. Well, Albert is essentially that. It's like, oh my God. Yes, that is him. Let's see what else we have. Lucy is chiming in from Metro Amano. Yes, I'll be there. I'll be there shortly. Yay. Let's see what else. More of the same. I mean to show all your comments, but let's see. It's a real challenge sometimes living in a place where people go to in order to blow off steam and go a little crazy, while this place they come to go crazy is our home. I think that happens everywhere, Joe, which is why, I don't mean to impose my choices, but I've been very peacefully enjoying my home for the last few days. I call it my personal staycation, and life is just wonderful here at Casa Chaos with Luna. So, I hope you can find your peace. Everyone, I hope you can find your peace. I think we're done. Thank you very much for your insightful comments. Thank you very much for being tolerant of what goes on around us and for being accepting of our surroundings. I think it serves us better as human beings. But what do I know? This is what we have for today. I thank you as usual. We'll have coffee and headlines tomorrow. Tomorrow is the day before our 4th year anniversary. Do you think I've had time to prepare anything special? No, but I'm very much thinking of how fortunate I am to be part of this community that you have created. You are amazing for being here. You are amazing for supporting Coffee and Headlines, for not minding that I blow my nose every now and then and that I make strange noises, and you don't mind the fact that I have weird fascinations. It's been a fun ride, and may it last as long as it has to last. But right now, it's time to go crochet a little, time to go to Hecho a Mano, time to prepare for tomorrow's broadcast and continue enjoying a very mellow Semana Santa. Wherever you are, I hope you are happy, and I hope to see you again soon.